Hello, Sandro. It's me, Christopher Walken. I'm walking here.
Whoa. Hello, Christopher Walken.
Haha! Did I fool you? It was actually me, Arnold Schwarzenegger, doing a Christopher Walken impression.
Oh my.
That's also still going Christopher Walken in now that I keep saying it.
It is a little bit.
Hello, welcome to Oldie but the Goodie, the show where we review old-ass movies. This week we chose one really good movie, and then we have to review the other one. I'm Zach. I'm joined by my co-host Sandro.
Hello.
And we review old-ass movies, and we're like, hey, is this good? Hey, is this old? Those are the two categories. There's no other ones except for the other ones.
Of the time, they're old, but recently, aside from last week, but that was my fault. We've done a lot of good ones.
Yes, they're usually old-ass movies, but these ones were good-ass movies. But
This one,
we flipped it on its head this week.
we did an old movie that was also... Well, what did you think?
I'll throw my opinion at it. This was physically painful after the first one.
Okay, yes, because it is a sequel, and you chose, which means that because you chose and it's a sequel, you got to watch the first one. That's how it works.
Yes, so I watched the first one and this one. I watched Conan the Barbarian, and this week we're reviewing Conan the Destroyer.
Yes.
And so watching the first one and then watching this one, it's bad. It's really painful.
Okay.
It's not good.
Okay, so I expected to hate it. But it's not as good as The Ice Pirates, but it's a crappy B movie, and I had a lot of fun with it.
Yes. So the main issue with this movie was the first movie,
Yes.
which makes this movie look shit.
The first movie is, from what I can tell, an epic...
Sorry for swearing, because now you got to put that explicit, but this is a fucking shit-ass bullshit.
From what I can tell, the first movie is quite an epic, not Braveheart, but like that style, long
Absolutely.
story. This is just a B movie from the 50s.
Yes.
Which I think I prefer because, again, every time I've started to watch Conan the Barbarian, I got bored and turned it off. So maybe that's why I liked this. I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, I'm excited for you to quickly...
Explain everything to you, because,
Yeah.
oh my god, there's so many references to the first movie, and every time one happened, I was like, how is Sandro dealing with this right now?
I'm very interested to see what the first one was, because first of all, I didn't watch it for this episode, but also I'm pretty sure I've actually never seen it. Because after this, I went, I'm going to go look up a couple action sequence clips from the first one, and I did, and I went, I've never seen any of this.
Yeah, well, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
You should definitely go watch it, and you will be like, oh, to a lot of things. But it's his whole backstory and everything. And it's, I'll tell you now, I rate Conan the Barbarian a goodie.
Cool.
It was really good. So Conan the Barbarian, because we're not doing a full review of that, but it pretty much goes over his life story.
Yeah, what's the general quick non-spoiler premise of the Barbarian?
Baby boy, young boy, Steel is your best bud.
Okay.
Don't trust anyone else. Steel, he's going to be your bud for life.
Yep.
Then you get big, and then you fight people.
Ah.
And then there's lots of snakes.
Oh.
Snake cult.
A snake cult?
Yep.
Indiana Jones wouldn't like that.
It's a good time. And then you have a merry band of ne'er-do-wells, and you go on adventures, and it's like D&D.
Okay, so the other thing is, slight spoilers for this. Well, not really. But in this one, his princess or whatever is dead. Is that in the first one?
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So it like starts off with that. So yeah, anyway, spoilers for the rest of everything.
Yeah, spoilers for everything. While you watch Conan the Barbarian, I watched some alternate options for the last couple of weeks during the week.
Oh yeah? What did you watch?
So I watched Streets of Fire, which is Willem Dafoe is a biker and he steals a pop star and this action hero's going to go after him. I briefly mentioned it in the Gremlins episode, but actually forgot to talk about it properly. It's boring. I didn't like it. I thought it was really boring.
Whoa.
So,
Ripperoo.
you might like it, but I don't know. It was just kind of dull, and compared to The Warriors, which is the director's other film, kind of nothing. But I did watch Top Secret.
Oh, yeah.
The parody of spy Elvis Presley, almost World War II movies, and it's great. It was really good.
Oh, nice.
And you would love it.
Oh.
You would love that one. So I would say check that one out. Don't check out Streets of Fire. What's some good things about Top Secret? Every single frame has a joke in it.
Isn't that the criticism you had for, like, last week's movie?
Yeah, except
all of them are funny in this.
yeah, they're funny.
Yep.
The film starts off with a parody of Surfin' USA, the song Surfin' USA, except it's called Skeet Surfing, where it's about these guys surfing while also shooting pigeons with like shotguns.
Oh, right.
And the song is like, I wish I had my shotgun. It's amazing.
That's great.
It's the best.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
If you like The Naked Gun, you'd love it, and I think you would love it, Zach. So that's a goodie. Streets of Fire and Oldie. So there we go. There's cool. 2 things. We all watch different things. Isn't that great? What a great time. We're heroes.
Yeah, I love watching a variety of movies, as long as they're all my movies. I do comedies, I do action. That's like the 2 things I do. Those are great movies.
You do, has he done sci-fi? Surely. Oh, yeah, Total Recall.
Yeah. I've done sci-fi. I put that under action.
Yeah.
Like, I do action and comedy. Those are my 2 things, then there's subcategories.
Anyway, thanks for joining us this week, Arnie.
You're welcome. I'm good friends with Zach. Oh, thanks, Arnie. Yeah, we met at a movie premiere at one point.
Oh, nice. Was it?
And I actually confused him with my impression. He thought I was him.
Oh, right.
It was like one of those. It was like Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
But we were just both Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was a confusing day, but it was a good one, and we became closer friends. That we did.
I don't think you've seen Freaky Friday. What do you think Freaky Friday's about?
No, isn't it when they swap bodies? Yeah. See, so I was right. It's like Freaky Friday. We swapped bodies, except we're both Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that's okay. Look, I'll let you believe that's how it works.
Yeah.
What you're saying is, you want to make a movie.
Yes.
Where it's you and Arnie.
Yes.
Except you're playing real life Arnie, and he's playing you pretending to be Arnie.
Doing an impression of Arnold. doing my shit impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yes, absolutely.
I would watch that. $20 million. Let's get this.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, because I'm going like, I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's trying to do an impression of me.
Yeah.
Which is just like, yes, I am Zach. I do podcasts.
And his impression of you is just him doing all of his one-liners. And then your impression of him is just him being like, shut up, that was 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah, because I'd just be like, oh my god, I mean Arnold Schwarzenegger's body. I want to scream his quotes as loud as possible. You're right, that is what I would do.
Yeah. Except the catch is that you've then got to raise his kids that he probably has. And he's got to do this stupid podcast.
Yeah, he's got to review old movies, and he's like, these movies are boring.
Except he looks like you. So there's no reason why he shouldn't be nice to all the people he's worked before with. So he can just rip apart like a Sylvester Stallone movie.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's no repercussions. He'd love it.
Yeah.
Should make this happen. Anyway.
Oh my god, and our voices are swapped. Like, it's me on screen, but it's him talking.
Oh,
and
no,
then when it's Arnold on screen, it's my bad impression.
No, I hate this now.
Yes.
Your other 2 options were Bachelor Party, which is about a bachelor party that's being thrown for Tom Hanks.
I care about as much for that as I did for this movie.
And the other one was Cannonball Run 2. It's a sequel where Burt Reynolds, he competes in a dangerous cross-country race.
Sounded interesting.
Yeah, you picked the right one.
I definitely like Conan the Barbarian. That was a great movie. I enjoyed that.
So it was released June 29th. It's based off, the pulp magazine character Conan the Barbarian from Robert E. Howard. They were published during the 30s originally, so classic 30s stuff. Sequel to Conan the Barbarian, quick information on that. 66% on Rotten Tomatoes, audience score of 74. Pretty positive.
Definitely agree on that.
Made $75 million off a $20 million budget, which is very good for an R-rated movie. The director of that film, John Millis, said he drew a lot of inspiration from this movie called The Vikings from the late 50s. And so for the sequel, John couldn't direct, so they got in Richard Fleischer, the director of The Vikings from the 50s. He's also done the original Dr. Dolittle musical, which is bad. He's done 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which is good. He's done Soylent Green, which is pretty good as well. And another fantasy film based off a Robert E. Howard character, Red Sonja. It's also got a story by credit from Roy Thomas and Jerry Conway. They've written for pretty much every comic book superhero you can think of. And a screenplay by Stanley Mann, who wrote Firestarter. Now, Zach, did you notice any major differences between these two films in regards to the violence?
Yes. So in the first one, there was a lot of blood. In this one, no.
So,
blood is a no-no.
The first one was rated R. They finished this movie, it got an R, and everyone was like, great, that's the final cut. But then the studio were like, actually, we want to make more money. Let's re-edit it. So they made it less violent and less gory.
Oof.
So
yeah, because that's definitely what we were looking for. Thanks, studios.
I know Conan's like the #1 family film at the box office.
That bit also is really annoying during this film, that it's like, it's very PG.
It's so obvious that it was like re-edited as well, because every now and then in the fight sequences there's like a little bit of blood on the sword and you're like, how did that get there? And then it just disappears in the next scene. Like, the remnants of the R-rated version is still there.
It's annoying on multiple levels, let me just say.
For the cast, Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Conan. These
Love
two
him.
films are his very early movie work. He went on to do The Terminator later on in 1984, and then from there he did Predator, Commando, which made him a super action hero man.
Yep.
And he's
He's a good-looking boy.
he looks short and stocky, but I think that's just
Oh, in the second one, yeah, it's weird the perspective they do, because he's so broad-shouldered
it's really
that
weird.
it makes him look shorter.
But I guess he's like that in the comics as well. He's not a tall
He's not meant to be tall. They also put him next to a really tall guy.
Yep.
Which I liked. I liked the tall guy, the Malik or something.
No, Malik is...
Sorry, no, Malik's a different character I need to talk about later. No, I remembered who
No,
Malik
let's
was.
talk about Malik now. Malik's played by Tracy Walter. He has done so many movies and shows that you have seen, it's honestly ridiculous. Like, think of something, he's probably in it. Is he in the first one?
No.
Okay, so he's the thief.
Yep. Okay, you go.
His character is that he's a thief, and he's scared of everything.
Yep.
And...
Which is always something people love coming into watching a film. Just a character being a flat coward. Isn't that funny?
So, this is one joke in the movie. He is scared and he's like, I'm going to stay here. You guys go off and do your adventure. And then he hears people coming towards him, like other enemies. And he's like, oh, wait, I'm actually coming with you. Wait for me. That is one joke. No, sorry. Wait, that's every joke that that he does.
Okay, so this character
10 times in one film.
is the biggest insult of this movie. It's painful, every scene he was in. I think the actor's fine.
Yeah.
I just think that the way his character written was actually appalling and insulting. So, in the first movie, his best friend is a thief. But it's not this one. I looked it up to make sure that this was not the same character, and it's not, which is doubly insulting. Like, what happened to the first character?
Wow.
Why is this the replacement they get? Because in the first movie, he has a best friend who just happens to be a thief, that sort of thing.
Right.
But he's not a coward in any way. He's also Asian in the first one. And so this annoying-ass character is the one that's replacing the really in-depth and cool character in the first one. And... why? Is all
weird.
I can say, because you literally could have just not had him in this film, and it would have been better.
There's no reason why he should be in this movie. He does nothing.
They're thieves in the first one. Like, they steal some stuff. And so that's what this movie's done. They've gotten that bit, and they're like, okay, they're thieves. Let's put that in. No! They evolved past that. There was movie. But no, they're not the same character, thank God.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because they would have replaced an Asian dude with a white dude, which I'm like, did they do that?
He just comes in out of nowhere. He's just there from the start. There's no reason. I agree with everything. He's terrible. He's a terrible character. He's written badly. But it did add to the B movie-ness of this.
Yeah.
In that, in every single B movie, there's one character who is written to be the funny guy everyone loves, but he's absolutely not. The funny guy everyone loves is everyone else because everything's terrible about this movie.
And it was just insulting because I watched the first one and all the backstory it laid out. Not only was it awful and bad, but it also shat on the first movie.
Well, there's one character who's introduced in this who I think is really good, and that is Grace Jones playing Zula. She's not really an actor. She's done a couple movies. She was in a Bond film in 1985 called A View to Kill, but mostly she is a pop music and model icon. She's very influential. Pop music would not be what it is today without her. And she's great in this.
Yeah, she's cool.
Really good.
She's like a badass warrior woman.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I'm down for that.
I really liked how she wasn't there to bang Arnie. I thought that was what they were going to do, and then no, she's an actual character. And I was like, okay, cool.
Well, you didn't see the R-rated version.
So Queen Tamaris is also in this. She's played by Sarah Douglas, best known for playing Zod's pal Ursa in Superman 1 and 2. I mean, she's barely in this, but again, she's
cool. I like her.
Yeah. Is she in the first one? She acts like she was in the first one.
No, not at all.
Alright, I want to talk about the princess, Jenna. She's played by Olivia D'Abo. This was her first ever anything. Her first ever movie, her first ever TV show. She was 14 while filming this.
Wait, she was 14?
She's 14.
That whole movie?
Yeah, she's 14 for the whole thing.
Oh, no.
And she kisses Arnie on the lips.
Oh, no, yeah.
And she's 14.
I did get the vibe that she was, I was going to ask if she was 16 or whatever when they filmed this. 14?
She was 14.
Jesus.
Her whole storyline is, I'm a virgin and how do I get Arnie to like me? That was her whole story arc.
To be fair,
That's a very cliche, normal story.
I mean, yeah, we saw it in Leon. Anyway, the actress is great. She was also in The Wonder Years.
Yeah, she's a pretty good actor for 14.
What else has she done? She's done a bunch of voice work for direct-to-DVD Marvel and DC movies.
That's cool.
She's also the voice of Jedi Luminara in Star Wars The Clone Wars, and she also played that character for one line at the end of The Rise of Skywalker, so she was in that movie as well. Good on her.
Huh.
Let's talk about the princess's bodyguard, Bombata.
Oh, yeah, Bombarda. I love that boy.
He's played by Wilt Chamberlain. He's a basketball player who alleges to have slept with 20,000 people. That's his claim to fame.
I did not expect that. Wow.
That's what it says on his Wikipedia page to the reasons he's famous.
Cool. I enjoyed his character. I thought it was cool. I like the dimension of his character, which is he's got to protect this princess, but he's also got to murder this stupid barbarian boy.
Yeah.
But he's also got to pretend like he's not murdering the barbarian boy and helping them.
Yeah.
And I thought he was the only real character.
Yeah, he had a mission.
Yeah, it was, but it's not really a character. It's just an arc. Sorry.
Yeah.
Story arc.
Yeah, because Conan, he doesn't have one. He's there for the quest, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's the whole thing getting his girlfriend back.
Yeah, but it doesn't end.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere, and yeah.
Malik doesn't have an arc. Zula doesn't have an arc. It feels like she's meant to at the start, but it doesn't go anywhere. Jaina doesn't have an arc aside from that she gets to kiss Arnie. So it kind of felt like this character was the only one who had any proper conclusion.
Yeah.
Akira the Wizard. He's played by Mako. Apparently he was in the first one.
Yes, he's in the first one. Sorry, yeah, that's the other character that's in the first one. I knew there was another one. He's really good in the first one.
Okay, because he is also an award-nominated actor for a film called The Sand Pebbles, and I was going, wow, you really did take an award-winning actor and just made him make constipation noises for an hour and a half.
Oh, it's bad.
That's all he does.
Yeah, no. In the first one, he's more of a shaman.
Right.
He talks about spirits and other things like that. He's like a shaman. He talks to spirits and other things, and that's how he does his sort of magic. And he narrates a lot of the first movie.
Oh, okay.
He's I am the chronicler for his adventures.
Oh yeah, he just says that at the start of this as well. Interesting. Okay, because in this he's just going. Urgh!
Yeah, it's his. They got his character, and they're like, "Oh, we can get this actor back." Okay, well, let's write in some things for you to do.
Yep.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
So, 26% on Rotten Tomatoes. Doesn't surprise me.
Deserves less.
Audience score of 38, which is surprisingly high, but I would give it...
Yeah, you enjoyed it, so, you know.
I would give it about a 4 out of 10, a 2 out of 5.
Like, I definitely... There's lots of good merits of this film.
Yes, in that it's trashy and complete crap, but, you know. This cost $18 million, 2 less compared to the first one, which is actually surprising that they put less into it.
Yeah, actually, that is surprising. I thought they would have put more into it.
What do you think it made?
15.
Nope, it did make a profit.
20.
29 million.
Okay.
Which was enough for them to consider a third film, which we'll get to later. But first, let's also, why is it called Conan the Destroyer? What does he destroy? He's a barbarian in the first one. He's a barbarian in this one. But he doesn't destroy anything aside from a castle, but that's because the princess took a crystal out of it. I think it should have been called Conan the Barbarian, Chapter 2. Hey, let's go get a crystal from a tower and then destroy the tower. Woo!
How about Conan the Barbarian 2, Chapter 2, Kill a Evil Wizard?
Conan the Barbarian 2, hey, it's me, I'm gonna kiss a teenager. Woo!
14. Remember, guys, as you're watching, she's 14. Remember that cleavage.
She's 14. Okay, let's get into it. The font is iconic. It's good font.
Yeah, font's good. It's like this sort of runic metal sort of font.
Yeah.
It's in the first movie. It's in this movie. It's great in both. It's iconic. It's that.
I like it.
It's that.
It's good stuff.
Metal's really important, but not in this film.
What?
Don't know if you know this because you didn't see the first film, but metal's like his whole thing. Steel is really important to him.
Huh? Really?
Did you get that from this film?
No. No. Not one bit.
No. That's really interesting. It's like kind of a huge part of his character.
So he's a forger?
No.
He makes stuff with steel?
No.
He worships steel.
No.
His money is steel. It's like Dune, except the money is steel.
It's the thing like his father tells him. Spoilers.
Oh, with great steel comes great, you must get steel.
Responsibility. Yes, there you go.
Yeah, okay.
It's pretty much that, and it's like a thing of his character. Okay, minor spoilers, alright?
Sure. I mean, I'm probably never going to watch it after watching this one, so go for it.
Okay, that's fair. So minor spoilers. The thing the father tells us is you can't trust man, beast, woman, whatever. You can only trust steel.
It sounds like that dad's got commitment issues.
Yes, correct. Don't worry, he carks it.
Okay, good. Wait, I mean,
Yeah, but the whole thing is he can't trust, man or whatever they think. He can only trust the steel by his side, that sort of thing, And steel's important because of his god, Crom.
Oh, right. The god that he prays to in this opening sequence for 2 seconds.
Yes. So Crom is the god from the first movie. The whole point is that Crom... There's this, backstory about gods and the secret of steel, the secret of metal. The whole point of his religion is when he dies, and he will meet Crom.
Right.
And Crom will be like, hey, what's the secret of steel? And if he doesn't know that, Crom's going to be like, sent straight to hell. Haha.
That sounds like a strange requirement to get into the afterlife.
Yeah, well, it's his specific god.
No, okay.
So there's a whole thing where he's not really that religious. That's just his god. He doesn't pray to it. That's kind of a big point, is that he's never prayed to it in the first movie.
Great. Here we are in the second one, and the way we're introduced to his character.
Instantly praying to his fucking god. So immediately it starts off by shitting on the first.
That's genuinely amazing. I love that. Yeah, that is so funny.
Yeah, I was like, it annoyed me. It really annoyed me, but I've already yelled too much. So, continuing on.
It opens with him, he's praying in the center of this circle. He's surrounded by these giant stones that are definitely stones. They're 100% real stones. They're not plastic, they're not foam. They're real stones.
I'm fine with them.
That are sturdy and aren't moving in the wind because they're real stones. Did you know that? They're real.
Sandro, I think you're getting caught up on these visual effects.
The stones looked very real.
Okay, we get it. They made some rocks.
And then a bunch of guys show up wearing real armor. Definitely real armor. I've seen better armor at swordcraft. I mean, it's great. It's real armor. It looks good.
Yes, it's very LARPy, that's for sure. Well, it has a general more fantasy vibe in the second one, whereas in the first one, it could be like ancient history.
I think that's because this one was directed by a director who loved to make, I don't want to say B movies because they were in the 50s and they were probably very good movies in the 50s, but they are very low budget.
Yeah.
Very fake looking fantasy films. And he came in to do this and he did the same thing. And while I like that style, probably should have done an original movie.
I liked the style. Like, the style of, like, fantasy. So I actually almost preferred this to the first one. Although the first one may have had better effects and I'm just an idiot.
Sure.
I mean, certainly the temples in the first one were way more impressive.
This group of men on horses, they surround him, and Conan and his best pal,
Please don't say best pal.
number one thief boy, is like,
God.
hey, we gotta fight him.
No, it's number 2. In the first one, he was a best friend and he's cool.
Except I guess that character's dead now, so this is now number one.
Yeah, because they never reference him. Meanwhile, you're just thinking, what happened to the first one? Is it the same character? Is it a different character? Where did the first one go? What happened to him?
I think this isn't a sequel. My thoughts are this film doesn't take place after the events of the first film. This is just a completely different universe.
Right, yeah, this is an alternate... That would make more sense if this was an alternate universe.
Or maybe, right, and hear me out, because this is kind of far-fetched, but in the world of Conan the Barbarian, Conan becomes an actor, and he makes a movie based off his life.
You can't see my face, but it crunched up during that statement.
So, they fight these guys on horses. I loved how the first action scene is Conan pulling a guy off his horse, and then the guy falls through air in slow-mo. It's my favourite.
Yep,
it's my favourite.
You love slow-mo.
Love it so
Canon,
much.
You're a big fan of slow-mo.
I wrote down, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts. This feels like a WWE fight. Every action sequence in this feels like a bunch of wrestlers in costume doing a choreographed fight on WWE.
Because as you said, they redid it to make it PG, so it's really, like,
it's
weird.
them grabbing at each other and then falling on the floor.
Yeah.
And then rolling around and then getting up and doing that again.
It's really PG.
Yeah.
Where in the first one, the first fight scene, someone bites a neck, and there's blood pouring out of it.
There's a point here where someone bites someone's ear.
Oh, that happens at the end of the film, and there's actual blood shown. I remember it because that was one of the few moments where blood was actually shown.
Yeah.
For, like, a scene. And so it's, like, one of those scenes that survived the culling.
Well, there's a little bit of blood in this opening sequence, except you don't see the blood being drawn. It's a very close-up shot of his face as a sword effect plays. Then zoom out, you see a guy with, like, a little bit of jam on his top, and he's falling over. Like, that's the extent. And yeah, it's bad.
There's, like, a scene where a lady slashes a guy's eye, and then the next scene it's, like, pouring with blood, and so he's still fighting. There's one where a guy gets impaled on a spike.
That sounds pretty good.
It's great. That's the first movie, though, not this movie.
One of the,
Oof.
the men is the queen, though, and she's like, come with me, I need your help.
Oh, yeah. He's like, what do you have to give to me? And she's like, I could give you anything. And he's like, you don't have shit that I want. And then she makes him have a vision, or he has a vision.
Yeah.
One of the two. And he sees the character from last film, his girlfriend, who is not a princess in any way.
Princess Valeria is her name in this movie.
She's not a princess in any way.
Yep.
It's his princess, but, like, not a she was a thief in the other one. That was a thing.
Oh.
They fell in love, and they were cool, and he was a great character. She died, and now he's seeing vision. Obviously, you would be confused, because you don't know what the fuck's going on. Who's Crom? who is this chick?
I just assumed that, yeah, his girlfriend died, and he was like, bring her back, please. And the Queen's like, do this quest and I will. And I was like, that's all the information I need.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you pretty much all the information.
Because it doesn't matter in this film.
Yeah, but the fact that you're calling her a princess is really annoying.
Yeah.
No, but it's not your fault. It's the goddamn film's fault.
It's the film.
God damn it.
All right, I want to rant for a bit.
Yep, go for it, go.
The Queen takes Arnie and his best old friend back to
Please stop saying that.
her castle. And her castle is this isolated, like, small castle with, like, a surrounding town on a hill, surrounded by nothing.
Yep.
I haven't seen plains this flat in a world that's supposed to be magical since, like, the last Planet of the Apes film from, like, the 80s, where it was literally men in fur suits punching each other in a film while their friend has got a camera and is like, keep punching each other. It looked awful. It's so bad. I'm pretty sure that in the background of this giant shot with the castle in the right and the giant plane laid out with them riding towards it, there's power lines in the background.
Yeah.
You can see power lines. At least paint them out in post. That's a thing that you could do in the 80s. As we know, because there's green screen in this movie.
I said at the start that I thought some of the effects were better. I take that back.
I wrote down everyone loves Conan because they go through the town and everyone's like, oh, it's Conan. Yay, we love you.
Yeah.
Where's that coming from? Did he save the world in the first one?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so in the first one, he murdered some cultists.
Okay.
And the cultists were bad. So I guess they could be like, hey, it's the guy who murdered that cultist guy. I'm a fan.
I've got another note here that I'm going to need you to expand upon. I'll just read the note, then you can describe the whole scene.
So bad. Why?
The note is, he says sorry to a camel who spits at him, so he punches it. What? 5 question marks. Explain what?
It's a
what
reference to the first movie. That's so fucking unnecessary. It hurts. Like, this might be the worst scene in this film. Just for how blatantly unneeded it was. So in the first one, he meets a camel, and because he's a strong boy, like, the camel comes at him, so he just punches the camel. And it knocks out the camel in one hit.
And this is the same camel.
So this is literally them being like, oh, you remember when he punched the camel? Haha. Well, he's gonna say sorry. I spits on him for the fucking... I hated it.
I think what happened... I don't know if the writers of this movie wrote the first one or not, and quite frankly, I don't care enough to look it up. But if they did, this is just self-congratulatory garbage.
You remember that joke?
People say that movies now are full of fan service. This is
It's infuriating. It's actually genuinely infuriating.
They go into the throne room. It looks pretty cool. They go into the Queen's chambers. They do some drinking, and the Queen, she tells Conan the mission. The mission is he's got to help her niece, the princess, on this journey she's got to make. It's like a coming-of-age ritual journey thing, where she's got to go to this castle. It's guarded by a wizard to get a key that will then unlock this horn needed for a ceremony. Conan, he responds to this by saying, we shall both have everything we want through magic. And I was like, great. Thanks, mate. Super important lines of dialogue.
Fun fact, Arnold acts more in this film, which detracts from the film.
I think what you mean is he says more, he acts less.
That's true. Yeah, actually, no, that is fair, because I feel like he acted better in the first film. Just by, like, not saying things and, like, conveying with looks. Like, because he's got the bod. He's got the bod for the barbarian, but he's also got that face of, like, grr.
Yeah.
But his expressions and his lack thereof of emotions in scenes, it's good. It works well. It jives well. In this, yeah.
The second scene is the next exposition dump. Weirdly, the only other exposition dump in this movie. There's like 2 massive moments where they tell you everything, and then the rest of the film just plays out based off what they said, which was quite good, actually. I like that they weren't constantly introducing stuff.
I also like that.
She tells her guard to protect Arnie and, Conan and the princess. She also says that the princess needs to remain a virgin so that she can be sacrificed. Because that's the thing, they're going to sacrifice her. And then she's always like, hey, how about you kill Conan as well once you get the horn? Just kill him.
Yeah.
We don't need him.
Try and kill that boy off.
So that's the plan.
We know that the guard of the princess, what's his name, Bombata, is he has to protect the princess, but also secretly try and murder Conan, and it's cool because he does things. And
Yeah.
they're like, are you trying to kill Conan?
There's one moment where Conan's like,
Are you trying to kill
Were
me?
you trying to kill me? And he's like, nah, don't worry about it, man. All's good. We're best friends.
It's like the first time he tries to kill him, Conan's like, I'm pretty sure you're trying to kill me there, bud. And he's like, nah, don't worry about it.
I really liked the visual of them crossing the desert, and there's the skeleton of the mammoth. That was very cool. They come across some cannibals who are about to cook the wizard guy. So Conan, he kills them all, and then the wizard guy's like, I'm gonna join your team. And I was like,
boy.
who is this? Turns out he's from the first one.
Yeah. So the whole point is, we know this character. He has wizard powers, but they're not super established.
I'll tell you what, they're pretty established in this movie. He can close a stone door.
Also, I can find these tunnels. That's the only useful thing he does, except for close the door. Oh, what a...
Oh, they go to another town, and in the town there is a warrior woman, and she's fighting. Her name is Zula. She's tied to a stump, and the princess...
This was cool. I liked this scene.
It was good, except again, the dialogue was awful.
Yeah.
Because the princess is like, Conan, there's 6 of them against her.
Oh.
And he goes, 1, 2, 3. I think you're right.
No, I thought that was funny.
No.
No, that was so bad it was good. That was one of the few lines where I was like, that's pretty good.
What does he do? He frees her.
It's cool because his solution isn't like, I'll save you. It's just like, all right, she's free now. Now she can fight 6-on-1, but she can move.
She's great though. I think she's the best fighter in the film, even though she's not a fighter. I think she looks really good. She does good stuff.
Yeah, the choreography was pretty good.
She beats up some guys. By that I mean she uses her stick to push them in the head and they fall over. Because this is a PG-rated movie.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a spear at some point.
Yeah, you're probably right. And then she rides after the crew and joins them. So far, the film's been pretty bad, but now it's time for the Ice Crystal Palace.
Now we get to the adventure. We've got all the characters. We can get to the adventure. In the first film, the adventure was happening while we were picking up characters. Like the wizard's you come across the wizard 3/3 in, but he's an important character, you know.
In this film, though, it's a quest. They tell you exactly what's going to happen at the start of the film, and then you just see it happen.
Yeah.
That's this film. Which
I would be down for if it was better.
Yeah.
We've established who this is, because the first one's his backstory. It's like who he was, who he is, this is how he came to be. Now we can do, movies where it's just a quest. This is the quest he's going on, that sort of thing. Alright, now we're gonna get Conan to fight a wizard, that sort of thing. I mean, he did that in the first one. But, I like this wizard. He's cool.
This wizard is cool. I want to know what his deal is, and...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I want to know more about this guy. Why does he have, a cut on his eye? I wanted to know more about him, because he seemed cool. And I liked the fight that breaks out.
Well, first of all, the princess gets kidnapped by the wizard turning into a dragon. Spirit dragon.
It's like an illusionary one, because he's like this illusion master.
Yeah.
But he can make illusions that can actually affect the physical world, which is cool.
So he turns into a dragon, which looks amazing.
Yeah. It looks really good.
I love how he turns into a dragon and it looks great. Then the next morning, the crew wake up and are like, oh no, we got to go to the castle. So that they get on a boat, and by a boat, it's like a prop of a boat against a green screen with the background painted in. Oh. And it looks awful. It looks so bad. I love how the spirit dragon, the magician literally turning into a dragon and then picking someone up looks incredible, but they can't get the green screen to work properly.
Yeah.
The other thing as well is obviously the dragon takes place at night, so you don't really have light that you need to play with. Also, it's see-through, so you can get away with a lot there.
Yeah. It's just a lot of things that make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the first one, there's a sort of effect like that, and it's pretty decent. It's not bad.
They swim off towards the castle. They got to dive into the water to kind of get underneath.
Yep, because the wizard's there's a tunnel. That's my powers. I can sense tunnels.
So they do that. They swim underneath. There's the tunnel. And then there's a bunch of stairs they got to climb up. And then the wizard is like, oh no, they're coming. gonna go into a teleportation chamber and teleport away, which is what I thought was happening. Turns out it wasn't. Something much cooler was happening. Zach, this fight sequence. It's pretty good, isn't it? I love it.
Yeah. So the wizard, he's an illusion boy.
Yeah.
So what he does, he's captured the princess. She's in some room having a nap because he did like a sleep spell. So what happens is Conan gets stuck in a room full of mirrors. This is a very iconic sort of like battle of wits over brawn sort of thing. It's great. I love it. Every bit of this I love. This like hooded figures sort of walk out of all the mirrors at once.
Yeah.
But then they all sort of walk into each other to blend into a single figure. And then the hood is taken back and we see what looks like an alien from Star Trek.
It's an alien from Star Trek or a orc mask that you buy at a Halloween store for like $2.
Yeah. It's a pretty good mask, though. Like a high-quality one that you would buy.
The orc mask, not bad. He's kind of like this dark grey orc. He's got big teeth. He's got a reddish tongue. His eyes are like frantic.
Yeah.
Like he looks quite scary. He doesn't have a top on, and on his chest, the dark grey paint, I guess, that is on his face, the dark greyness, does this hour clock sort of thing where it kind of goes in on itself and goes out around his very white, very visible man nipples. Yeah. And it doesn't... What? So, I get that...
It's the wizard. He's transformed into this.
Is it the wizard, though? Because this orc is defeated, turns into glass, wizard was locked away somewhere.
Yeah, but the wizard takes the blows from it as well.
The wizard does take the blows, but also the wizard wasn't... Why does the orc have white and what? What is this?
Don't question the man nips. They're vitally important for the magic, Sandro.
I kind of loved it, though.
You can't turn a man into a croc beast orc thing without some keeping the nips. The nips are what keeps him human.
Sure. As an absolute garbage B-movie, this is excellent.
Absolutely. This beast comes out of the mirrors and Conan starts fighting it. The beast beats him up a bit and then, like, he knocks the sword away sort of thing and Conan's like, oh, crap, and they beat each other up. But then he gets the sword back and he swings, but it just goes through him because he's an illusion.
Yeah, it's a good moment.
It's one of those things where, as a D&D player, I can imagine all of this playing out as a D&D session. You've got the guy... He's separated from his party. He has to fight this thing while the party... I don't know. They're sitting back and watching or something. I would have made the party do something, but that's the problem with this film.
Oh, they are doing something. Malik is like, hey, wizard, open the door. And the wizard's like, ugh! And then Malik's like, oh, you should go back to juggling, you dumb wizard.
I would like a cut where just Malik is cut out completely.
Yeah.
He's there, like you see him, but... every line he says is cut out.
I like that. I'd buy that.
He fights him, but he can't do anything. And by pure happenstance, this is the DM going, all right, well, this character isn't figuring this out. Let me give him a bone to figure this one out. He steps back away, and his sword accidentally, like, crashes into a mirror. And by doing so, it makes a blow on the, like, illusion monster. And he's like,
yeah.
If I hit these mirrors, it puts the marks on the monster.
Yeah.
Which is very cool. I like that way of defeating. So Conan has to run around smashing mirrors while this monster is chasing him.
Which is good. And the music is great. The music is just super triumphant. It's really good.
It's just a cool fight scene. I like the idea because it's wits over brawn sort of thing. You know?
Yeah, which is good. I didn't like how he smashed all the mirrors, well, like most of them, and the orc is on the ground. And he goes, there are 2 mirrors left, wizard, and you're behind one of them. How does he know the wizard's behind one of them?
Yeah, no, he doesn't. We see that, but he doesn't.
We, the audience, know that. He does not.
Also, he went through one of the mirrors. Obviously, he got turned around. That makes sense.
Yes.
But, like, he could have just smashed the first mirror and be like, oh, that was the wrong one. And then smash the other. But the movie acts like if he smashes the wrong mirror, he kills all his friends.
Which is stupid. It's one sword that he's smashing through the mirror.
Yeah, like, for some reason he throws it as well. Like, this whole scene's dumb. It's like, the ending of the scene makes no sense because it's like, 1, he doesn't know the wizard's there. 2, if he smashes the wrong mirror, it doesn't matter.
It's stupid. Yeah, he smashes the correct one. The wizard is impaled, but not too impaled that the wizard can still walk out and be like, oh, you got me, I'm dying. And then he touches the diamond key thing that they need to get, and he turns into light beams, which is a pretty cool effect, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, they run out of the castle. It starts to fall apart again. It looks pretty good.
And I think the wizard mentions that it was like all an illusion.
This doesn't even matter. But they're like riding to the next place that they need to get to. They're attacked by some dudes. It turns into this hilarious sword fight. Arnie is fighting this tank of a dude.
Yeah.
And they're using their swords. And every single time the swords hit, and it's like 50 times, it's the exact same. Complete garbage sound effect.
Ting!
For 50 times in the space of 2 minutes.
Ting, 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 ting. All right, so just grab one of those tings and then just copy paste it over it, and just it's the same one.
It's the same.
Yeah.
We mentioned it earlier, but this is where the bodyguard dude, he attacks Conan, and Conan's like, Did you just attack me?
And he was like, I thought you were going to attack the princess next.
Yeah.
And everyone's just okay with that. That excuse gets him through that.
They come across this other castle. It's more of a crypt. It's built into the side of a mountain. And so they enter the door.
The two big boys, two strong boys. They hold up the door, then the thief goes in, and he presses the lock or something, and it...
Yeah, it locks the door open. But they can't see. So the magician's like, I'll light your torch on fire. And so he does that, and he does something.
Conan gestures his torch at the wizard, and the wizard, like, flicks his hand, and the torch lights. What?
It's the only thing the wizard...
That's the coolest thing the wizard does the whole movie. The rest of the film, he just takes a massive shit.
Oh, we'll get to that. There's more of that coming. I can't wait.
Yeah, no, that's his, like, big arc, is he takes a big shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so annoying.
But anyway, if they open it up, it leads to this place. The princess has got to shine a diamond and put it in this thing, and the diamond turns red, and then this giant circle pit lights on flames. She's got to walk through it into this room where the horn is.
She walks through flames. There's a little bit of effect happening, but the second effect was pretty good, where she walked into it.
I liked when she walked into it. Yeah, it looked good.
I was okay. The first one you could see she sort of green screened it.
Yeah.
But the second bit, because they did the perspectives really well, it actually looked very, like, she walked through fire, which I thought was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Good on him. Good on him.
I didn't like how the magician guy, he sees the writing on the wall and is like, oh, we got to watch out, she's going to be sacrificed, and then bring up along the death of the world. I thought it would have been so cool if they discovered that as a surprise and not he reads it on a wall. That's the best you could come up with?
Yeah, because it doesn't really do anything.
They don't do anything with that information. Yeah, it's stupid.
Like, the cultists come in, or, like, the temple owners, whatever the frick they are, that they would have been way better for just exposition. It's like, we need the girl for the god, and they're like, what? The only reason that's there is so that Conan will stop them from taking her away, I guess.
The keepers are there to stop them from taking the horn. They're the good guys. They're stopping the apocalypse.
Yeah, they are the good guys.
And Conan just kills them all. Yeah, it's pretty stupid. But then we get the best scene. And by the best, I mean the worst. It's the wizard off. Where they're hiding behind this door, and the bad wizard, well, the good wizard, except if for the context of this scene, let's say he wants to kill them, he's the bad wizard. He uses his constipated wizard powers to open this door, and then our hero wizard uses his wizard powers to close the door, and then it opens again, and then it closes. And the whole time they're going, "Urgh!"
Like, add a special effect, lightning bolts, anything.
It is so awkward.
It's really bad.
They escape the bad guys in this cave, again, the second cave, and the bodyguard, he causes a cave in that traps Conan and his friends while the bodyguard takes the princess outside, rides towards the castle. Now, Conan, they eventually get out of the cave, and the horses are still there. Bodyguard dude, make the horses ride away.
Well, he might have thought them dead.
But you're a professional bodyguard. This is your job, right? Your job is keep the princess safe, kill Conan. In the movie Top Secret, there is a scene where Val Kilmer is escaping a bunch of evil people.
Yep.
He escapes on a motorbike. And the first thing he does is he tells the other motorbikes to run away, and the motorbikes run away with the sound effect of horses playing. It's a joke. It's a stupid joke.
That's funny. That does sound very funny.
The Val Kilmer in that movie made, essentially, the horses run away, so the bad guys couldn't chase after him.
Oh, that's funny, because, yeah, you would have watched that scene where he shoos them away, and then seen this where he doesn't.
And just gone, what? Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
no, no wonder you brought that up. That's very fair that you bring it up in that sense, because one movie did it, this movie didn't.
He takes the princess to the castle. They put the horn into the statue of this god who's... Which god is it? Do you know?
I can't remember. It didn't matter.
Some end of the world.
They mentioned it, there was a thing, but I really zoned out.
Yeah, they put the horn in the
I think I
forehead...
was too angry at the time.
In the forehead of this statue of the god, and then that statue comes to life.
It's cool. You know what? I like this because it like starts to like mutate and like melt, and it looked really terrifying.
It did. I love the monster that it turns into is just like a giant Lovecraftian.
Yeah, it's just a Lovecraftian horror beast, and it's like, whoa, okay.
It's weird, but it's good. You know, I'm a fan.
Planning to do? Were they going to use it to get power or something?
They were going to bring him back and then serve by this god's side, and that's why the wizard dude is like, no, he'll just kill you. So they basically brought along their death by resurrecting this god.
I don't know what their plan was. They're just resurrecting their god because this is the god they worship. Right, gotcha. But they need to sacrifice the virgin to make him not kill them or something?
Oh, yeah, that was it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because they need to sacrifice her. That's the whole point, is she needs to die. That's very important for some reason.
Yes.
That will mean the god doesn't kill them, or the god will do what they want.
Also, at the start of the movie, the way the queen talks about the fact that they've got to sacrifice the princess, it's like it's a secret. It's like the princess doesn't know. When it comes to the ceremony, she's just lifting up her head, showing the priest her throat ready to be cut. She's just like, kill me.
Well, it's part of the ritual that she's been taught. She's been told the ritual and what she has to do, that she has to stand there with her head held high.
That could be it. Again, we don't know, because it's a PG movie and they would have cut that part out anyway.
Oh, yeah. They would have cut it out. Haha. Her throat, that is.
Yeah, the statue's alive, weather's stormy, big old fight.
It's just like Lovecraftian beast all of a sudden. I was like, I'm aboard.
It's pretty good. I mean, Conan, he has to fight the beast.
Because the statue's humanoid. So it's like you're expecting some sort of human god, but it just sort of melts into this horrible beast thing.
Yeah.
It's cool.
The way they defeat the beast is by pulling out the horn, which looked
makes sense.
Real gross, actually. Him
Yeah.
pulling the horn off kind of looked real yuck.
Yeah. And like this goo like just pours out of it like a faucet.
Yeah.
It's great.
It is a good moment. And then the beast is dead. It ends with this triumphant soundtrack moment of Conan taking his sword, stabbing the monster in the head. This is the joke that I genuinely enjoyed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the triumphant music plays as Conan stabs the monster in the head. Yep. Music goes away. Silence. Mallet comes up, stabs the monster in the head with a tiny dagger. Triumphant music plays again. I thought that was a very funny joke.
Oh, yeah.
That was well done.
That's fair. Okay, yeah. I remember that and going, yeah. Because it's like a haha, he thinks he's helped in any way.
Well, let's end it. Princess is queen now. Zula's gonna become captain of her guard. Malik becomes a jester, I guess.
I mean, honestly, the best role he could have played.
The wizard's gonna be a magic teacher, so that's cool.
Yep.
And then she asks Conan to marry her, and Conan's like, well, first of all, you're 14.
Yeah.
But also, I want my own kingdom, so bye. And then she kisses him, and she's 14, and he's not.
Yep.
He's 30, probably.
Yep.
Anyway, it ends with narration being like, he got his own kingdom, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah, that's from the first film.
Boo.
That's how the first film ends as well.
I thought it was bad.
I'm gonna give it an Oldie.
I'm giving it an Oldie as well, because
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend this to anyone.
Yeah.
But
there was a lot of good. It's definitely not
Yeah.
the worst film we've watched, for sure. I guarantee you would have hated it more if you had watched the first film. I guarantee you, because it takes such a huge shit on the first film that it's not so much that it's bad that it's just literally distracting from the film. It's like, why did they do this? I don't get to enjoy the film as much because I'm remembering the other film and being like, why are they doing this?
I do want to know why this was. Maybe it was a last-minute script. I don't know.
The fact that this film was changed to be PG means it could have probably been a lot better. It had sequelitis. It's a good film that suffered from sequelitis.
Speaking of sequelitis, there are sequels to this movie. Jokes. A sequel was planned. Yeah. They planned a sequel. It was going to come out in 1987. It's called Conan the Conqueror. The thing is, though, Arnie had a deal with the studio to be in 3 films.
Yep.
So he did this, he did the first one, but he also showed up in Red Sonja, the other movie, kind of based off something from this comic book creator. So his deal was done by the point they were going to make the third Conan film. So he went, I'm going to go make Predator instead.
Good choice. I would have liked to see another good Conan film because I really enjoyed the first one.
It would have been the same director and writers.
Oh, man.
So
yeah, probably... but then they just make it R-rated and they could I still enjoyed this film. I still I'm mad because I love him. And it's the love that brings out the fury, you know?
Conan the Conqueror became a film called Kull the Conqueror, which was released in the 90s, and it's awful. Yeah. In 2011, we got a remake of Conan the Barbarian with Aquaman himself, Jason Momoa, and it is, drumroll please, absolute shit. In 2012, they started planning a film called The Legend of Conan, with Arnie returning to the role. However, that film has been stuck in development hell ever since it was announced, but Schwarzenegger says he wants to do it. Last update we got was in October of last year, where Arnie says it is happening, but it's now called Conan the King.
Oh, I'm excited. I would absolutely watch another Conan film.
What's your sequel?
Wow, that was a great segue into that segment. Oh, yeah, mine's definitely just another quest. I like Conan. He's he's the most basic adventurer.
Yeah.
Sort of he's the thing that spawns all the questing, adventuring, fantasy sort of things. Because he's the baseline.
Yeah.
He's the baseline bar of which all other films have to, all adventure boys have to get over to even become slightly good.
I think you mean he's the baseline barbarian.
I get it. Because it's barbarian.
But yeah, you're right.
I'm so done. Okay, so my one is Conan the Barbarian. It's a sequel. You know, it's just another one of these quests. We have literally no returning characters. Not a single one. He's going on his dayabouts. He's doing his thing, and then whoa, an evil wizard shows up. And so he talks with the local village and is like, yeah, there's this evil wizard that's doing bad stuff to our crops or something. He's taking children. You know, he's bad. And so Conan goes to fight him, but the wizard is ready.
Ooh. See,
what he does is he tricks Conan into going in through a door, but the doorway is actually a portal to the future.
This is so similar to my idea.
Oh, yeah, this is... Yeah. He pops into the 21st century, not knowing about anything.
I would love this, though. This sounds great.
Yeah. And there's cars whizzing by. I think something similar happens. There's a film where it's fairy tale characters pop into the real world.
I know which one you mean, with Amy Adams. It's actually pretty funny.
Yeah. It's that sort of thing where there's these cars around. Because I really enjoyed when the prince did that, because the prince is foul beast, I will rescue the people inside you, and he just stabs a bus.
Yeah.
With a sword. So that's what happens here, except it's Conan the Barbarian. So he has his fucking sword, and he's literally pile driving cars.
Oh. And then he gets arrested and locked up in
Yes, and then he gets arrested. Yeah. It's you knew exactly where this was going. So he's slicing at cars, he's causing crashes and stuff. Eventually the police are called and it's put the sword down, and of course he charges at them, so they just tase him.
Yeah.
And of course he collapses and
And then I'm gonna add on to your pitch.
Yeah, go for it. We can do this together.
So he gets arrested. He gets taken to like this penitentiary, right? Like this massive prison for the worst of the worst.
Yeah, because he's clearly, too dangerous to be kept in the regular prison. Like, there's one scene where it's like, where do we put him? Well, he's too dangerous to be in the. Put him in the lockdown.
Put him in the lockdown.
Put him in the Knox.
And then World War III breaks out.
Oh no!
And the bad guys in World War III, whoever they are, they've got EMPs and stuff that just blocks all of technology. So they need to go back to basics.
It's the wizard.
Yeah. Yeah. The immortal wizard.
It's the wizard, but he's like... He's just a dictator.
Yeah.
And he's using his magic to disable technology so he can take over the world.
Yeah, and so the army are like, we need to go back to basics. Sword, shield, bit of sorcery. Wait a second, didn't we just lock someone up for using swords really well? And Conan comes in.
So bad.
He's got to teach the armies of America, I guess, because it's an American.
It's just like every sequel like that.
Then they go to space?
I mean, that's the only logical conclusion. Like, that's the only place you can go.
Conan the...
Space Warrior.
Space Warrior. I'd watch that as well.
Yeah, no, that actually does sound pretty fun. He fights aliens and stuff.
Yeah. Except the aliens are just the orc.
No.
Well, there we go.
It's not where I was going to take that film. I kind of wanted... There's a bit of a prison life. And he has to, like, live in a prison for a bit.
Look, this can be a 10-part miniseries on, like, Netflix or something. That's, like, a couple episodes.
The prison episode was definitely my favorite. Where it's just him in a prison trying to get used to being in prison.
Exactly.
And, someone comes up to be tough on him because he's a big guy. And he just... One punch knocks him out.
Yeah. He becomes the king of prison. Like, he's always wanted a kingdom, and now he's got one prison.
Yeah, he's like, all right, sure, I'm just going to become king of this place. And they're like, whatever. He goes to mines or whatever, and he's literally, like, breaking rocks with his fists.
Yeah.
He's just, like, carrying out the carts instead of pushing them,
Exactly.
Of, like, heavy rocks and stuff. He does, like... 20 times the work of any other worker, and then they get him into space, and then he has to fight an alien.
Fights an alien,
and then it's Conan versus Alien.
Conan versus Jason X.
Yes. Right. Oh, that would be cool.
Would it though?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
It's time for raving reviews. How it works, there's ratings, Sandro guesses them, that's it, that's the whole concept. Charlie, he says, weak sequel has our hero leading a princess on a journey. The action is slow. What did he rate it?
2.5.
1.5.
Oh, okay.
I mean, 1.5. Very close, friend. Edmund says 51%. A much less successful sequel, Conan the Destroyer, quotation marks, still thrives on its main character's charm and wacky fantasy elements. 57%?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if it's 50, yeah, that's 2.5.
Yeah, it's 2.5.
Yeah.
It's 2.5, obviously. But they put 2 percentages in, which I'm like, why?
That's
why
weird.
put the first one?
That's a bit weird. Anyway.
Teresa says 35%. Its violence, in quotes, may be cool, but all in all, this is a dull fantasy adventure.
1.5.
Yep, it's 1.5 again. Well done.
Oh, 2 points.
I mean, 1.5 again. Well done. Cut out the bit where anyway.
I won't.
Jay says, I'm sorry I hit you, camel.
Well, that review gets a 0.5. But because this person must think that's a good quote, 3?
Yeah, 3. Well
Wow.
done. That was a good analysis. You were like, thinks that must be funny, therefore they probably enjoyed it a bit more, but not fully, because otherwise they would have said something good about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then just one more. Hillary says, Arnold, those biceps, yummy.
Didn't we have that last night? We didn't.
Yeah, I think so. Someone also said, hey, look, his biceps, they just be yummy, yo.
That is a 3.5.
It's a 1 out of 5.
Okay.
The only redeeming quality was Arnold's yummy biceps.
And the only redeeming quality of this movie is that we're done. Actually, I enjoyed it. Look, I'll be honest, I enjoyed it. But also, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this film.
Yeah, sick of talking about it.
That is the end of our Conan episode. If you like the show, check out more stuff that of films that's not this. There's more episodes, so many. We've got so many, 78.
See Conan the Barbarian. That's a good movie. Please, Sandro. Don't let this be the one Conan movie you've seen.
I'll watch the remake from 2000.
No!
If you like the show, tell a friend. That's the best way to help us out. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. You can leave us a review on iTunes as well if you want. We've got an email address where you can send us feedback. We've got YouTube videos that you can comment and name stuff on.
Absolutely.
Everything is there.
Yeah, so you got to choose a movie, Sandro, for next week.
All right.
So you got a lot of choices. We have, that's weird.
What's wrong?
Nothing. You have completely nothing for next week.
Well, okay, great. I guess we'll take next week off then. That's cool. No episode next week, people.
So do we have to watch a movie from last week then?
Yeah, one of the other options for this week, which is Cannonball Run 2, Burt Reynolds, Cross Country, or Bachelor Party, Tom Hanks, sex comedy film. Okay, how about this?
Yeah.
We do Bachelor Party.
Okay.
But we also do the other Tom Hanks film from, like, February where he dates a mermaid.
What?
Because that one looks genuinely funny.
Okay.
Splash.
All right.
Yep.
I'm done. But I'll be back. Hey, Eldritch Monster. Hey, Eldritch Monster.
Oh, yeah, what's up?
You're fired.
And this is my favorite quote from the movie. Episode ends.
Nice. Just keep the bit where you say episode ends.